tremendous casualties from the rockets that have been fired. The overwhelming majority of the casualties that we have sustained have been from close contact fighting, or rather executions and cold-blooded killings of Israeli civilians and soldiers by Hamas terrorists. As we're speaking, the situation in Israel is still not fully under control. There's still fighting ongoing in southern Israel. There are still Hamas terrorists inside Israel, and Israeli special forces and IDF troops are fighting, going house to house and making sure that each and every community is clear and rid of all of the terrorists that crossed into Israel. And again, there were hundreds, a high number of hundreds of terrorists that crossed from Gaza into Israel today. And I know of more than 200 terrorists that have been killed by the IDF. Some of them inside Israel, some of them trying to flee back to the Gaza Strip. More than 200 have been killed by our troops, and that is also a dynamic number, and I think that number will rise. I hope it will rise significantly as the night unfolds and as tomorrow comes. The first priority of the IDF is to restore the situation in the south, to make sure that our Israeli communities are safe, and then to get a full and comprehensive tally of the numbers of Israelis, where everybody is, and account for each and every Israeli civilian and soldier. Then to make sure that the border is closed and that future attacks are prevented, and that Hamas won't have any other opportunities to attack Israel. Third, and that's already ongoing, we will start to strike Hamas's military targets in Gaza. And that's the stage when we start responding to Hamas aggression and attacks. That's usually the stage when the world starts to count Palestinian deaths and lecture us about humanity and the use of force. Let me remind everybody how this started. It started with the butchering and the cold-blooded execution of Israeli civilians by Hamas, unprovoked, into Israel. An unprecedented level of violence against Israeli civilians will generate an unprecedented Israeli response against Hamas. And it is Hamas who is responsible for the violence. Each and every Israeli killed and each and every Palestinian killed. It's blood on Hamas's hands, and they are responsible for everything that is happening and that will happen in the coming days and weeks as this war unfolds. For everybody here listening, watching, for those of you who care about truth and defending democracy, defending freedom, and for free, democratic, sovereign countries defending themselves against evil, dark, medieval extremists, then I urge you, speak up, support Israel, share and retweet this video, share our information, share our messages that we release, and make sure that you stand up to slander of Israel, to misinformation, to bias against Israel, to thinly conceived